everybody, it's Lisa here. So this would be a 3-part video series dedicated to bloating and digestion issues in recovery, because I know this is such a huge topic to talk about and many people struggle with this in their recovery. So I want to take my time and really talk about this. So in this video series, we're gonna firstly talk about why you are having issues with bloating and digestion in the first place. And then we will talk about some key steps you can take to overcome it. And then I will also share with you some things that you can do in order to deal with this. And also, if you want to know more how to go through recovery step by step, then also read my book. This is everything I did to get to my full recovery, and I'm gonna put the link in the description. And also a very important disclaimer, you shouldn't recover alone and always seek professional and medical advice. And everything in this video is for general information purposes only, and what is right for you and the steps that you need to take in recovery is something you should discuss with your doctor. But in this video, I'm just sharing what helped me in my recovery to overcome these issues, and also what has helped so many of my clients. So yeah, this is the purpose of this video, and I really hope you're gonna find it helpful. So firstly, let's talk about what is happening with your digestion in recovery and why you are experiencing all these uncomfortable symptoms. So in recovery, it's very normal and common that once you stop restriction and you start to eat more and rest, then you're gonna start to experience many recovery symptoms. For example, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, acid reflux. You can experience gas, nausea. You can feel too full but hungry at the same time. You can also experience food sensitivity symptoms like sensitivities to gluten or lactose, and so many other symptoms with your digestion. Many people fear that they have developed IBS or celiac disease, or maybe they have all the symptoms of gastroparesis. You can really feel that there is something wrong with your body, and you may fear that you have to start eating a very limited diet in order to deal with the symptoms. Your stomach can feel very painful, very full, very bloated. You can feel like you are many months pregnant. You can also feel that all the weight is going around your stomach area. And of course, all of this contributes just more to the eating disorder fear that I am just like gaining and it's never gonna stop, or my body is just like ballooning up. But actually what's really happening is that because of your eating disorder past, where you have dieted and restricted calories, and this has done a lot of damage to your body and also to your digestion. Maybe you did water fasting or intermittent fasting. Maybe you purged either through like self-induced vomiting or over-exercising. Maybe you did all these like detoxes and cleanses, and you likely excluded a lot of foods from your diet. And all of this puts your body in a state of malnourishment and starvation. And all of that, the past you come from, is why you're experiencing all these uncomfortable symptoms now in recovery. You don't have these symptoms because you are now like eating too much or because you have real food intolerances, but rather the cause is the restrictive past you come from that really compromised your digestion and your entire body. And your body now just needs recovery and time to really heal from all of this. And I'm not saying here that real food intolerances don't exist. If you suspect a food intolerance, then always consult your doctor and get tested. But I'm just saying that food restriction, eating disorder, and all the dieting past you come from is very often the real cause of developing those symptoms. And I am also talking from my own experience, because I ate a very limited diet when I had an eating disorder, and this caused me so many issues with my digestion to the point that I really thought I can't never eat things with gluten or lactose, and I have to forever follow some restrictive diet in order to manage the symptoms. But actually I was able to overcome these uncomfortable symptoms with recovery, and now I can eat whatever I want without having to limit any food or having to continue any type of restriction. And if you suspect that your case is similar, that you came from a restrictive past, from an eating disorder past, and now this is why you're having those digestion issues, then this video is for you. But now let's look into what are some reasons why you're having all these uncomfortable symptoms in recovery. So the first reason is that when you restrict food, then your digestion also will slow down. Just the same way as metabolism will slow down with restriction, your digestion will also slow down. And this is a survival response from your body. When you are malnourished and there is not enough food coming in on a consistent basis, then your body will slow down its gastric emptying. And this is exactly why so many people in the recovery start to experience symptoms of gastroparesis, which means that the food stays in your stomach longer than normal. And this can cause you to feel lack of appetite when you're actually starving. You may also feel nauseous when you eat more food. You may feel physical fullness for a long time, but at the same time be mentally hungry. Or you may feel that the food is just sitting there and it's not digesting. And all of these symptoms happen when you are malnourished because the body wants to conserve as much energy it can so you can survive longer. Because when there is lack of food, the body doesn't want to speed up the digestion, but it rather wants to slow it down. And it can take up to 5 times longer for the food to digest for somebody who is recovering from an eating disorder versus for a normal healthy person. And for example, the men in the Minnesota starvation experiment, when they were just eating 1,500 calories, they reported having just 1 bowel movement per week. So this was their body trying to conserve energy for survival. And also, if you start to recover and you start to eat more, it doesn't mean that the digestion will automatically speed up overnight. It's gonna take some time. Remember all the damage starvation has caused to your body, and there is so much restriction and malnourishment to undo. So even for some time in recovery, the body can actually hold on to the food for longer to maximize the nutrient utilization for healing purposes. Also, when you start to eat more, it doesn't mean that the body automatically knows that there is no starvation anymore. So it's gonna take some time for your body to feel safe enough to speed up your digestion. Remember, your body has been through a nutritional trauma, and understandably, this is gonna take some time to get over it. So I know it's gonna be uncomfortable for a while and it's gonna take some time, but with recovery, you can heal your digestion, and in time, it's gonna normalize and speed up again. Secondly, starvation causes your stomach muscles to be utilized for energy. So when your body is in starvation, it doesn't take energy only from your fat stores, but it takes energy from all of your body. When you restrict diet, starve yourself, your body starts to cannibalize itself in order to get energy. So yes, your body essentially, it starts to eat itself. It borrows energy from your organ tissue, your muscle tissue, your bone tissue. Your organs and your brain can even shrink in size when you are malnourished. So your muscle mass will waste away when you are starving yourself. But your stomach is also a muscular organ. So in order to have a normal digestion, you need a lot of fuel. So you can actually reverse the damage malnutrition has done to your digestive system. Next, restriction causes your body to lose digestive enzymes, and also it decreases the production of healthy gut bacteria. For example, it's very common that when you stop eating foods that contain either like lactose or gluten, then later when you introduce them back into your diet, you can start to experience some very uncomfortable symptoms. And this is where you may think that, oh, like this is the proof that those foods are bad for me and I shouldn't eat them. But what is really happening is that because you didn't eat those foods consistently for a while, then your stomach actually stopped producing the digestive enzymes that are needed in order to digest those foods. Because I remember in my eating disorder, when I was trying to like eat clean, and I excluded so many foods from my diet, including the gluten and lactose. And whenever I ate those foods even a little bit, I experienced so many uncomfortable symptoms. And I thought really that my digestion is so like clean and pure that is just like reacting badly to these like unhealthy foods. But what was really happening was actually that my digestion had got so weak. And also restriction, and especially behaviors like self-induced vomiting or taking laxatives, cause some really serious damage to your gut microbiome. Those behaviors really irritate your stomach lining and destroy healthy gut bacteria. And here you can experience symptoms like acid reflux, stomach ache, bloating, also constipation or diarrhea, and to start building up the healthy gut bacteria, and for the stomach to be able to start producing those digestive enzymes, you actually have to start including various foods back into your diet, and also to eat more food in general, because your digestive system needs a lot of fuel in order to heal itself. And also, restriction will affect your appetite regulating hormones, your hunger and satiety hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Your hunger hormones can go out of whack when you are starving. You can start to feel very full or very hungry, or you feel hungry and full at the same time. Or maybe you don't feel hungry at all, but at the same time you have so many other starvation symptoms. So your hunger and fullness cues seem to be all over the place and not reliable. And this is also why the intuitive eating doesn't work for everybody in recovery, because our normal hunger and fullness cues are so messed up. And this is why the counting calories to make sure you are eating enough can really be life-saving in recovery, and why sticking to regular eating every 2-3 hours can be super important in recovery. And this is why mechanical eating and also sometimes force feeding can be necessary in recovery. And because the hunger signals are so messed up, then this is also why so many people feel like gut full but the body empty. They can physically feel filled to the brim but mentally still be so hungry, because your gut sends signal to your brain that it's physically full, but your nervous system is sending signals to your brain that more food is needed in order to completely restore the energy balance. And this is why extreme hunger is so normal in recovery, and why responding to your mental hunger is necessary. Your stomach can feel physically full from the food, but in terms of the energy balance, you are still malnourished, and all of this needs a lot of food in order for you to fully recover. But unfortunately, this is also where so many people confuse their hunger with like emotional eating or food addiction or like boredom eating. But in reality, the body is actually sending signals to eat more food for a reason, because as I said, you can feel gut full but at the same time still be body empty, because the stomach fullness is not the same concept as truly being nutritionally energy balanced. With the food you're eating, your body is not just gaining the unnecessary fat, but it's literally building up your entire body, specifically all the internal things you can't see from the outside, like storing your muscle mass, your organs, your brain, restoring your bone mass, also to speed up your metabolism, to heal your hormones. And all of this requires so much energy. And this is why you can't eat like a normal person in recovery, because your situation is not normal. And please also see my video, Weight Gain is Unnecessary Fat, where I talk about this more. So this is why your number one job in recovery is to eat and to rest, so your body can actually restore itself as quickly as possible. And another thing restriction does is that it causes vitamin and mineral deficiencies. When you don't eat enough calories and you also restrict many types of foods or even food groups, you will also develop vitamin and mineral deficiencies. And also eating disorder behaviors like purging, taking laxatives, it depletes your body from vital nutrients, and it contributes to developing deficiencies. And so many vitamins and minerals are required to have a healthy digestion. But if the eating disorder is causing your body to not absorb them or to deplete them, then obviously it's gonna cause digestive issues. But before you start to worry about the vitamins and minerals, the most important nutrient your body needs in recovery is for calories to get energy, because you can eat as much nutritious foods you want, but if you also don't get enough calories, then it's not going to heal your digestion. The number one thing why people fail to improve their digestion in recovery is because they don't get enough calories to begin with. And the last thing I want to talk about is the state of chronic stress eating disorder and restriction creates in your body. And this state of chronic stress takes a huge toll on your digestion. When we are in stress, our body goes into this fight or flight mode, and this temporarily heightens our senses, so we are better able to act on the stressful situation. And this also slows down your digestion, because when we are in this fight or flight situation, then it's not very useful to spend our time and energy to eating and digesting food. And temporarily this is not a big deal, but it becomes a big deal when we are in chronic stress. like we experience in having an eating disorder. And the body can't come out of the stress. So the body keeps sending those stress hormones that keep suppressing your digestion. And stress increases the acid in your stomach that contributes to the indigestion and heartburn. And stress can cause a healthy gut bacteria imbalance that further adds to the digestive issues. So stress alters your digestion in so many ways. And some very common stress-induced gut issues are symptoms like indigestion, heartburn, stomach pain, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, loss of appetite, nausea, even things like IBS or stomach ulcers, and so many other symptoms. And stress can come from the physical side effects of an eating disorder, but it can also come from your mind, because your mind and your body are so much connected. For example, things like self-criticism, self-hate, body image issues, and in general, mental health issues can keep you in a state of stress. And this is why, in order to heal your digestion, you have to work on the physical side of recovery, but also the mental side of recovery, because it's all connected. And to understand more about the effect of stress to your body and also to your digestion, then I really recommend you to watch my video about stress. And I'm gonna include the link in the description. So these are just some of the issues of why you're having all these digestive issues and bloating in recovery. And in the next coming videos, I'm gonna talk more about this subject. And if you want to know more about recovery, as always, read my book. This is step by step everything I did to recover from my eating disorder. And here as well, I talk about the digestive issues and bloating more. And to not miss out on future videos, make sure to be subscribed to my channel and click the notification bell so you are notified whenever I post a new video. And if you found this video helpful today, then please also give it a like. But yeah, this is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next time. Bye.